My name is Cameron Dugmore, and I work as the Special Advisor to Minister Trevor Manuel and also helping out in the ANC Western Cape election campaign as the Deputy Coordinator.
Okay. Can you give us a message to the electorate out there, the voters, why you think they should elect ANC in the province?
As the ANC, we have a message, and that is that together we move South Africa forward. And in a similar vein, we are saying that we need to move the Western Cape forward. The reality is that the Western Cape has moved backwards under the DA administration. We've seen schools being closed. We've seen procurement not going to empower the broad black community, African, coloured and Indian. We've seen the lack of regard for school safety, the closing down of the Bambanani school safety program, which was a step backwards. That was what the ANC had begun. So many good things that the ANC put in place under the previous administration of the ANC with Premier Ibrahim Rasool and other colleagues have been moved backwards, because we believe the DA is actually taking the Western Cape backwards. So we say the ANC is the best movement, the best party to take the ANC in the Western Cape forward and to take the people of the Western Cape forward. We're sitting here, absolutely beautiful surroundings. Our concerns as the ANC is to grow this economy, but to make sure that the workers who produce the wealth on this farm are empowered and achieve the rights they do. But what can you do when you have an MEC for agriculture in the Western Cape that's supposed to look after the interests of the workers and the farming community, but he's a farmer himself and focuses basically only on the interests of certain farmers? We're very happy that many of our farmers are beginning to transform and to involve workers in cooperative schemes and equity schemes, but the DA has taken us backwards. Therefore, what we are saying is, as the ANC has brought our country, South Africa, so far over these 20 years since 1994, we now need to make sure that the last province that is not under the ANC, the Western Cape, votes ANC and moves with the ANC, because in that way we will be able to take the Western Cape forward, especially for the poor, the marginalized and the disadvantaged. But we want to unite everyone, black and white, African, Indian, colored and white, Christian, Muslim, Jew. We want this beautiful place to be enjoyed by everyone and not just to be the preserve of a privileged few.
What will ANC do for the women of the province if elected?
Well, the ANC already is renowned throughout the world of having the most progressive constitution which empowers women. We are the party that has said 50% of all of our delegates to Parliament need to be women. That is a reality. No other party has been able to do that, because we say that if the voice of women are heard, you're hearing the voice of the majority, because women in our country, especially black women, are oppressed because they're women. Often they are oppressed because they're black, and because many of our women are workers as well. So if we cannot liberate the women, that's why the ANC has focused firstly on the representation of women, but secondly put in place the Gender Commission to make sure that policies of employment equity are advancing women who historically have been disadvantaged. We also face many challenges in regard to domestic violence, maintenance. ANC has introduced laws and the implementation plans to focus on women, and it's clear to me that women are served best by supporting the ANC, and that's why the strongest support base of the ANC is in fact women.
What will ANC do for the children to protect the right of children in South Africa, and the Western Cape especially? What
we are saying, and the ANC has adopted the National Development Plan for 2030, and a central component of that which has now been adopted is to say we have to move to 2 years of compulsory preschool education, even before grade 1. That will be a revolutionary step, and our organization is leading the process to train all the practitioners that are teaching our children in the creches. Many middle class and wealthy people can take their children to the best of creches and early learning centers, but the vast majority are not getting quality preschool, and that's why the ANC is moving with that. We have laws, we have the Children's Act which protects the rights of children. We have a special court and investigative units in the police that focus on children. But a huge amount needs to be done, because too many of our children are being abused at a number of different levels. But the ANC is showing, not only in terms of policy but in terms of implementation, that we are taking the cause of children forward. And the big move now is 2 years of compulsory early childhood development.
farmers in the Western Cape seem to be concerned that if the ANC should win this province, they are going to expropriate their farms. What do you say to, they're going to take away their farms? What would you say to the farmers to allay their fears?
Well, the ANC has got a very, very clear policy. We've got a land reform and a land redistribution policy. We have a target of redistribution of 30% of the land. And clearly, when you take the issue of looking at the question of land, we are able as a government to expropriate, but that is at a fair price. And that's why our Minister of Land Affairs, Dugmore, is setting up a particular land commission that will be able to determine, because some of the farmers, not all, but some of them have been trying to exploit the government by charging too much through the willing buyer, willing seller, so that we've moved the willing buyer, willing seller. We're following the Constitution. Nothing will be done outside of the Constitution. And in fact, there are many farmers who want to open up and sell their farms and also get into share equity schemes. And the ANC takes South Africa forward. The EFF are making all sorts of promises about nationalising this, nationalising that. What we say is that we do things on the balance of evidence after we've looked at the evidence and made a rational decision. And that's why this country is in safe hands in the ANC and the broader alliance. And that's why it's time that the Western Cape moved forward together with South Africa by supporting the ANC and removing once and for all the DA, which is essentially the ghost of apartheid. The DA is the ghost of apartheid trying to come back, and it's necessary that we don't be haunted by ghosts. Thank you.
Finally, just a general message. May 11, so May 7, so you encourage everybody to vote ANC. That's
correct. We think that a vote for the ANC is a vote for progress, for transformation, and a vote particularly to ensure that the majority of our people who are poor, who are marginalized, rural, but who want a better life and have begun to experience a better life but are being held back in the Western Cape. So we're saying vote twice on May the 7th. Vote ANC Western Cape, vote ANC National, and we're going to take this country to the greatest heights to be the most powerful, creative and dynamic country that the world has ever seen, led by our movement, the African National Congress.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your